Okay.
Wow. Wow. What a day. It was cool, but gosh dang, it was for me.
Go ahead. I'll mute. Okay. All right, now go ahead.
I sound like a Star Wars character. Anyhow, today was awesome. It was unbelievable. Credit to Jeannie, not me. I was there, and all of you guys that supported her. Plexus has been a blessing to us for 3 years now, and I mean that. It really has blessed us in several ways. But today, to me, walking into that dealership with those fancy salesmen, which I'm not crazy about, and here's a car with my last name on it. Son of a gun, that was pretty cool. And seeing all of the folks that could make it to support Jeannie and that big part of her Plexus journey was really cool. Thank you. Those of you who couldn't make it, I understand. But it was really cool. She earned it. It was unbelievable to see her sitting there. I'm kind of the ugly part of the team, and to see her smiling, pardon the expression, this is kind of R-rated, shit-eating grin. It was neat. It's totally doable for anybody. And if you ever question that, you need to go watch somebody get a car. That was unbelievable. So I told myself I was probably going to take 1 minute of the 5-minute time. Marson, GW, Jed, if I step on your toes, I'm sorry. I told Jeannie I want to talk about motivation, preaching the choir maybe, or perhaps even better is you guys could teach me more about motivation. But what drives you? What drives Jeannie? She's got a car because of whatever it is that drives her. And I think if at the end of the day, you can figure out what drives you, what motivates you, and tie that into your business or whatever you're doing, your family life, your relationship with whoever you worship. Find that, and it's amazing how much further you will get if you've got that motivation kicking you along the way. So what motivates me, or I've got a great job. It's a white hat job. I work with ranchers. I go out on the outside and they pay me well. I wouldn't mind if I didn't have to do it anymore or do it on my own time, but I'm blessed with a good job. And along the way, one of these ranchers I've met, he's actually from Wilcox originally, and just a plain Jane guy, talented athlete, went on to play college ball, a couple different sports. Pretty quick, he has his own business and he's putting a little money away. Pretty quick, he figures out he might be a good motivational speaker. Next thing you know, his best client is IBM. He's making 50 grand a night motivating IBM clients. And one of the coolest things I've ever seen is he'd put pictures of his cows up on to motivate these IBM employees. It kind of fits in well with my lifehood, but maybe others. But the point is, the guy was doing what he loved, and he smiled. A small town boy, he made it. I'd get to go visit him on his ranch, and every time he treated me like I was one of his own. And pretty quick, he'd get to talking to me. And pretty quick, he'd put his arm around Jeannie. And I think Jeannie and Troy are better friends than Troy and I are now. Like I said, she's the better looking part of the pair. But, and this was in the 80s that my friend Troy did so well. And he brought up a dream board, but he didn't call it a dream board. He said, you know what we did? Is we got a picture of the ranch we wanted, and I've seen it. It's a pencil drawing, and it's this ranch house that it's not spectacular. It's cool on the side of a hill above a creek. And he said they worked and they worked and they worked. And if you ever go to their place, here's this ranch house, and it's better than in the pencil drawing. And there's 2 creeks, and it is neater than heck. Just neat. And I'm reading from my notes. Sorry, I'm not a public speaker, but Troy always motivated me. He taught me to believe in myself. He talked to me positively. He was compassionate. He challenged me. That motivated me. He worked hard at what they got, but he always ended up having fun. Gosh dang, he's funnier than a rubber crutch. So I guess my message, and again, I apologize. I feel like maybe I should be listening to you, but find out what motivates you, what drives you. Incorporate that into your business, into your daily lives. I mean, whether it's the Lord, Joel Osteen. I mean, gosh dang, I can't put his books down. What about Troy Dooley? Troy Dooley was at the conference last year or convention.
Yeah.
And just would blow you away with some of the stories. Yeah, he makes money doing it. He's good at it. But if it impacts you, run with it, you know. Is it health, yourself, your family, or helping impact the health of somebody else? I mean, wow. What was it? Sarah Cloud's story about her boy that's been sick forever under Edith? Is that who that is?
Yeah, it's Chris.
Holy smokes, guys. That's
incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it's your wealth, financial freedom. And I don't mean, is it, the almighty dollar? We all got bills, folks, but I mean, financial freedom is pretty cool. And Jeannie and I've been able to taste a little bit of it, and we're liking it. What else motivational have I seen in this 3-year period? Dusty Duncan's personal growth, guys, is off the charts. It's unbelievable. And to me, I'd rather have debt and be around the new Dusty than to not have debt. I'd trade that. I mean, it's just a blessing for them, and I'm sure there's a bunch of people that have seen that as well. But when it's somebody you've known for a long time, it's like, holy smokes. Jeannie Stratton, personal development, unbelievable. Find that book, read it, pass it on, get another one, whether it's Swaggerty or whoever it may be that motivates you. And it don't have to be cows. That's just what I like. But, I don't know, GW. Maybe you like cows too. But, anyways, it was thanks for having me on. I didn't mean to talk your ear off. Jeannie, thank you. Thank you, Jeannie's team, for supporting her. And it's been real cool to see all of the growth amongst all of you. Questions you want to shoot me or whatever you may have. That's what I have. Jed, GW, Marson, I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
Whoever wants to go next.
Yeah, flip a coin, guys. Whoever wants to go.
I'll go ahead and go.
Good job, Jed.
I was really hoping Scott was going to come on in his Willie Nelson wig.
Dang it!
That would have been really cool. But for those who don't know me, I'm Jimmy Lee's husband, Jed, and my story is pretty simple. I was hoping Jimmy would find something that would help her with her debilitating conditions that she had, and a benefit I hadn't even accounted on was that she might make an income off of it too. We are blessed, we benefit both ways. She's making an income doing something she loves to do, and she's very, very driven. She's one of the most driven people I know. And she decided, to sign me up. And so I was just going to be like this person, that stood in the background, you know, and she was going to work the whole thing and all this. Well, she won the trip to convention, or not convention, leaders retreat the year before last. And that was in Florida. So I'm like, oh yeah, Florida, hey, let's go, you know, that's cool. So something happened to me in Florida. It just, something just clicked, and I just went, wow, this is an incredible company, you know. Let's run with this, you know, let's do something. This is, I already saw what it was doing with her, and I also saw what it did to me. My personal health issues weren't nearly as bad as hers, but I did have some health issues, and they've helped tremendously. Namely, I have hypoglycemia, just like Jeannie, and it was a daily struggle with that. And I also have a kidney disease. And I watched my kidney function go up 14% over a year and a half using Plexus products. And that's incredible. And it fluctuates, it goes up and down, but I think it's definitely a result of that. And then there's other minor issues that have been resolved too, but I don't want to dwell, you know, run on forever. One of the things that I would like to point out is that Jimmy and I have never taken the products for weight loss, and a lot of it is pushed as a weight loss product. If you were, you know, a lot of you know us, you've seen our pictures on Facebook. We do not need to lose weight. We look healthy. Even the older pictures, I mean, we look, you know, like, you know, what could be possibly wrong with them? But there was tons of stuff wrong with us, and we found relief, and we're so blessed. So one of the things I would point out is, don't look at somebody. It's easy for me to say because I even still do it today. Just today I saw some people and I was like, wow, that person needs some Plexus, you know. And I look at other people and I say, you know, why would it help them? And then I have to look at myself and say, well, I don't look like I needed it, but I did. So one thing I would point out is that don't look at people and say, I'm not going to say anything to them because you just don't know. You don't know what they're going through. They don't know. I've talked to so many people, just mentioned it to them, and come to find out they're people I've known for a while, and I didn't even know they had diabetes. I didn't know they had IBS. All these things, all these people are popping out of the woodwork that I had no idea they were suffering from these issues. And the other thing is, become a product of the product and believe in the products. This is important. And you know, Jimmy and I were both skeptics of this Plexus products, and now we're firm believers because we've seen the results in ourselves. So if you're, you know, you need to find that, you need to believe in the product so that when you're talking about it, that comes across to people and they can see your passion and your conviction about it. The other thing I'd like to say that is become, like I said, everything changed for me at Leaders Retreat, and I would say to everybody, if you can get to an event, you need to be there. It is unreal how your life changes and how it affects you when you go to one of these events. This company treats us like royalty. It doesn't matter if you're at the very bottom or at the very top, you know. It's unbelievable what they go through at these events to satisfy us, or not satisfy us, but just make us feel like we're important no matter who we are. And like Eric Worre says in his book GoPro, those who show up go up, and I believe that is true. Me and Jimmy, we have been to several events in the last couple of years, and I believe that when you go to an event and you post pictures about that, it's going to draw attention to you. It's going to bring people and say, wow, they were just, you know, in Florida not too long ago. Then they were in Washington, D.C. Then they were in Vegas. All these trips they won, you know, and got to go on. And this draws attention. It creates momentum. And I think that is a big motivator for people. The other thing is, you know, God brought this to us. You know, everybody believes that God brings things into your life that is going to change you, or for a reason. And if you're behind these products, you got to know that there's people out there that need them, and it's our job. It's God's using us as a tool to get this to the people that need it. So, and that's your job. He brought it to you. He put it in your lap. Use it to go help people. And I've probably gone over 5 minutes too, but like I said, there's no shortage of people out there who need the products. All you got to do is look around. I used to, be oblivious to other people's issues until I started solving my own, and I started talking about the benefits and stuff. And all of a sudden, people were coming out of the wood. Everybody has some issue. It's unreal. It's it's because of our diets, because of our whatever medications we're on. It's whatever reason it is. I mean, this is a natural product, and it's going to help people. And that's what that's pretty much all I wanted to say. I'm thankful for you guys bringing me on this call tonight. I'm really I'm glad you did, and I'm so happy for you, Jeannie.
Thank you, Jed.
I have to say you look giddy.
Thank you. I felt that way, Jed. Thank you. It was pretty amazing.
Yes. I can imagine it was pretty overwhelming.
It was.
But I'm happy. I'm really happy for you. So
thank you, Jed.
Let somebody else talk now.
Thanks, Jed, so
Thanks,
much.
guys.
Hey, Jed, thank you. Spot on. Awesome job. Thank you so much. GW Marson arm wrestles. 1, 2, 3, go.
Okay, I guess I'll jump on here since Marson is trying to play that he's on mute, but I know he's not. Can everybody hear me?
Yep. Yes.
Oh, okay. I guess I'm the baby of the bunch from a standpoint as far as being fairly new. I'm just a little bit of 4 months into this, and to me, it's kind of neat. I guess and one of my topics here is talking about timing is everything. As far as experiencing what Jeannie did today, went through today. It's one of those things where you've heard other direct sales type of companies and some of the things they may do as far as cars or whatever, but to actually be there touchy-feely, being a part of that was very inspiring and motivating, because it made it real. It's like, hey, this ain't no BS. This is some real stuff that's happening. But the other cool thing about it, because I know me and Scott were the only guys there, so we had to, they were picking on us a little bit, Scott, when you weren't there, so I had to step up for us, But what I wanted to kind of talk about is being new, and I know a lot of times, and I've been in a lot of trainings where they say some folks that are the newbies kind of fall out because they're excited when they get signed up, and then it kind of starts fading away, and trying to kind of keep that light on and keep that motivation and inspiration going. To me, a lot of things are with this business parallels life, right? I father of 5, and only have one more left in the house. And coach, you talk about sports. I played basketball at New Mexico State University. Woo, go Aggies! And also coached high school basketball a lot. And a lot of the lessons I've learned from life and sports, I translate it with my kids, and it also translates a lot to this business. And so, it kind of keeps me motivated. It keeps me kind of on an even kill, because this is going to be an up and down game. That's just kind of how life is, right? I tell my kids all the time, nobody goes through life undefeated, right? Everybody's going to have some times where they're going to get knocked down for whatever reason. But I used to say in coaching, when you lose, that L means you learn, right? You learn from it, and you adjust, you ram dump, and you move forward. But I think with anything is you got to have a vision first, right? You got to kind of see that way out there. I mean, I bet you, Jeannie, you probably saw that Lexus many, many years ago, and you're on your conveyor belt, and you finally got to that part. And then closely after having a vision is having that belief. You got to have that belief right behind it. That's so critical in anything. And So, the other thing that I always like to point out is perception versus reality. We're human beings. We always perceive stuff, than it really is. And one of my favorite books is a book called Don't Sweat the Small Stuff, and It's All Small Stuff. And it talks about how life is not an emergency. It's just a test. But as humans, we walk around like everything's an emergency. We make mountains out of molehills. We perceive the wrong things in people. And then when you kind of do something or talk to somebody, you realize, oh, it wasn't that bad. But we always go into it so like nail biting and right knuckling it. So, and that goes back to the self-development, is how we perceive ourselves and reading a lot. And I've always done self-development books. And it's kind of funny because I dabbled into MLM many, 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 many moons ago with Amway, and wasn't in it that long because my kids were real little. And, like I said, timing is, I'll get to my timing part here. And that was part of it. But I take out of every business or opportunity I've ever had, I take a little out of it. And one thing that Amway taught was the self-development. And that's when I started buying books and reading them. And it kind of has been a part of my life all through my life. So, and that is where you kind of, those books are all relatable to everybody. It's just that if we are willing to look what's inside between those lines, and they help you stay at even keel on all that. And then going back, to my main topic is timing is everything, right? I know, like I said, I got into business at MLM many years ago, but 20-something years ago, but the timing was right for this. The universe and God has things that come in your life at its time. Jed just talked about that. God showed them this. I mean, the universe and God showed me this because, I've always been open-minded to businesses, but and I was showing some of the ladies today that was my whys that I wrote down even before I had Plexus. I wrote these 3 whys down, and 3 days later I stumbled on Plexus. So time is everything, and everybody has their own journey in their own time frame, and that's, I think, so critical because I don't have any ambassadors. I'm pretty good on customers, but I'm not sitting up here tripping or stressing because that's not my path right now. And I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing because ambassadors, or I'm going to be attracting those ambassadors. So I'm not even worried about that. Right. But another thing is having a good concept of time. What is time, right? Is it really time is kind of a man-made thing. And, it's just like with this business, it's going to take time, patience, constant action. But it's just like for anybody who's lost weight, right? They didn't lose the weight in 1 week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It's taken time before they've lost it. With this business, it's not going to happen a week, 2, 3 weeks before it happens. And I was telling my wife, because one of my main things, and I've said this before I ran into Plexus, is I cannot see myself, and this is one of my whys, working for corporate America in my 60s. That's just like scratching the chalkboard or raked on the ground. That's just like kind of feeling to me. And I've said this for many, many years. But so, I give myself, in a sense, a 5-year time frame for Plexus, although I believe it's going to happen sooner than that. But really, is 5 years that long? It's really not. It's really not. And we can all think about 5 years ago that it was not that long ago. And so, and I also told my wife, even if it does happen 5, even 6, 10 years, isn't that a great story? Talk about, man, it took me 5 years. So, but it's not that long. And so, again, we kind of have a misconception of time, but what is really time? So, and again, going back to the patience, time, and the consistent action, and anybody who's been successful, and we've all seen people, we've been successful, we've all seen people who've been successful, but all successful people have had the patient scars to prove it. And, that's part of the learning process, is having those patient scars. And, I plan on wearing my patient scars with with my bells on when I reach that diamond. So again, it's going to happen. And, one of the things is also quotes. And I love quotes because those things you can always fall back on. And there's a couple of quotes that I love, and they're on my little goals here. One of them is from Winston Churchill that I just love. And he says, success is going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm, which I think is awesome. That's an awesome quote. And the other one is from Thomas Edison, who said, many of life's failures are people who did not realize how close they were to success when they gave up. And that, to me, just hits home with this business. You know, to me, the only way I can fail is if I just said, screw it, and I quit. That's the only way you can fail at the business, because I've seen it happen with Jeannie. I've seen it happen with a lot of people. And my last point here is take advantage of the One Plexus concept. I mean, that is so awesome, because I make it a point, it's on my goals, to talk to a senior ambassador, like senior gold or above, each month, just to pick their brain, just talk to them, network. And I've talked to Ron Lindley, that Jeannie hooked me up with, Joe Zook, Dusty Joe, who's not even in our chain, but again, that's the One Plexus thing. Allison Adams, and it was kind of funny, I met Allison's mom, Phyllis, at the Super Saturday. She just happened to sit next to me, and she's a snowbird down in Casa Grande, so we got to talking, and she hooked me up with her daughter, because her daughter's a senior Ruby, so I had a conversation with her. And then the videos and the training, there's so much out there. And, you know, some of my favorite videos are Chris and Susie McCall, because I like their personality and the way they go about things. So there's just so much that you can take advantage of in this One Plexus concept, which I think is just awesome. And also, again, have a little fun with this. I mean, we wouldn't be in this if we were walking around with mug faces, right? Like, oh, this, we have jobs. And again, I love what I do with my job, but, you know, I like to have fun while I'm there as well. So I think if we keep this light, again, don't take ourselves so serious, we can keep it even killed. So I will step off the mic and let Marshawn come on, but I appreciate it, Jeannie. It was awesome seeing you today. And again, it was awesome to just be able to be a part of that and touch it, because it's real. It's real. And that's kind of one of the things I also need. It's just more stuff in my motivation pouch. So I really appreciate it.
Thank you, GW, and thanks for being there. I appreciate you being there too. So thank you a bunch.
GW, awesome. Great points, all of them. Thank you. Martian, go get them, buddy.
Well, you know, I was hoping if I waited to be last, everybody would say everything there was to say, and I'd be good to go. So it didn't happen, did it? You know, I still got to talk, right? Hey, you guys did a great job. I'm really excited about how Plexus has worked for you guys so far, and you got to share your stories with us all, and I just love hearing that. So everybody's got a different journey that we're on, right? So it's pretty cool to hear everybody's journey. What I'd like to do before I start is just bore you with kind of an I Promise Myself quote. It's by Christian D. Larson. The first time I found this, it was when I was reading the book The Secret, which happens to be probably my favorite book I've ever read. I really enjoyed that book. So I'd like to share these with you real quick before I tell you a little bit more about my story. So it goes, I promise myself to be so strong that nothing can disturb my peace of mind, to talk health, happiness, and prosperity to every person I meet. I promise myself to make all my friends feel that there is something worthwhile in them. I promise myself to look at the sunny side of everything and make my optimism come true. I promise myself to think only of the best, to work only for the best, and to expect only the best. I promise myself to be just as enthusiastic about the success of others as I am about my own. I promise myself to forget the mistakes of the past and press on to the greater achievements of the future. I promise myself to wear a cheerful expression at all times and give a smile to every living creature I meet. I promise myself to give so much time to improving myself that I have no time to criticize others. I promise myself to be too large for worry, too noble for anger, too strong for fear, and too happy to permit the presence of trouble. I promise myself to think well of myself and to proclaim this fact to the world, not in loud words, but in great deeds. I promise myself to live in the faith that the whole world is on my side so long as I am true to the best that is in me. I try to think of those I promise myself, I call them, every day that I'm working my Plexus business. I think it helps me stay grounded and kind of keeps me close to my why. What I really wanted to talk about tonight a little bit is consistency. The only thing that really has helped me and Jane both, is just staying consistent. I mean, we're both gold ambassadors. We've both been at this about 2 years now. We haven't seen a lot of growth like some people do, and that's okay because we're on our own journey. But I see a lot of people start and just they go for maybe a week or month, maybe even a couple months, and then they just stop. They just quit. And it's so frustrating because you see the picture of the little guy in the tunnel digging for gold, and the gold's just right there, and he stops. That's how I feel. And so just be consistent with your business. You might feel that people aren't watching, you don't get any likes, you don't get any comments, but I felt the same way in the past. And I've actually had customers just pop out of nowhere, people I didn't even know that had been watching me. And I've also got ambassadors the same way. So my biggest message to you tonight is just be consistent. Post every day. Post personal posts, post Plexus posts. Try to keep your, I try to keep them balanced a little bit. I try to keep my personal posts maybe a little bit more personal than I do my Plexus posts. And what I really like to do, if I can post the Plexus post and keep it personal without even mentioning Plexus in it, I think that really works great too. So let's see, I got to glance at my notes here, make sure I haven't missed anything. Let's see. I think some of us on here are in Dusty's 90-day challenge, and I just kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit, how that's really helped me with my business. Not so much as, I've got a few customers and stuff like that, but what it's really helped me with is it made me realize that this is a business of friendships. And the only way that you're really going to grow in this business is if you make those friendships, and if you lock arms with people in your team, and you do this business together. And I, for a long time there, I thought, well, I just got to I got to sign up all the people I can. And I would get frustrated because I'm not finding anybody to sign up. And what I'm realizing now with this 90-day challenge is it's not about that. It's about taking care of the folks you got. So look down your team and lock arms with those folks that are willing to lock arms with you, and let's do this business together. And I think that's I've really enjoyed. I've just started doing that, and I need to do a lot more of it. But I'm really excited for what the future holds for that. So let's see what else here. Oh, self-improvement. It's another thing that I started reading a lot more books, working on what you say to yourself when you talk to yourself. Now, that's a pretty good book. I'm really enjoying that one. So just try to keep it positive. Try to keep your thoughts positive. I know that I've dealt with a lot of disappointment, I guess you would say, in this business, and the only reason that I'm still here and that Jane is still here is because whether we were disappointed or not, because we didn't think we were growing fast enough, or one thing or another, the one thing that didn't change was our love for the products and our belief in the products and our belief in the company, and the word quit is just not in our vocabulary. If it takes us 10 years to go diamond, then it takes us 10 years to go diamond. I don't really care about that. We enjoy doing what we're doing. Even we work through the disappointing times and the hard times, and just enjoy all the good times. I'll tell you what, there's a lot more good times than there are disappointing times. So I just want to get that message out there, that I know this is a disappointing and frustrating business sometimes, but don't quit, guys. Just don't quit, because the products work, and the products sell themselves. All we got to do is like Jed said, just go out and tell people about them, and get them interested. They'll try them and they'll love them. So that's about all I can think to say. And also, I'd like to congratulate you, Jeannie, on that awesome car and your ranking up. I'm so tickled and happy for you, and and you made it real. You made it real to all of us. We can all look at you and say, Gene can do it. We all can do that. So thank you.
Thank you, Marson, very much. And as you guys know, that was my goal, was doing that. And today it was pretty real. It came true even more with that crazy car. And so it was, yeah. So thank you, Marson. And you guys are all amazing. So I'm very lucky, very blessed.
So, Manly Monday. Pretty cool to be a part of.
You guys did awesome.
One thing in my experience being a bird on Jeannie's shoulder, I guess, is I try to find strengths in people that I admire, and then I try to adopt them into my own life. And one of those is our diamond, Tammy Elmore. You know what she does? And it's phenomenally effective. She recaps. So if you give me a minute, I'm going to recap. It's powerful. I talked about find out what motivates you. A book, whatever it is, find it, bring it into your life. Jed, hey, Plexus is a gift. He's right. He said be a product of the product. He said share it. He didn't say the word team, but he was so close to saying the word team. He said folks need it. And then he talked about health. Well, shoot, everybody needs to improve on their health, I think. I know I do. GW, timing is everything. What did he touch on? Self-development. See the pattern? Four guys from different parts of the world, different backgrounds, and well, I'll finish my recap, and then you'll see where it all ties in. GW, thank you for being positive. How awesome is that? That drives me. And I know everybody appreciates a positive speaker. Patience. Thank you. Yeah, that's powerful. He tied being patient into being successful. Marson, he talked about maybe, which I've experienced myself with the Jeannie's growth and my growth in the businesses, hitting some bumps and dragging you down, but success will follow if you hang on. You remember the guy with the pick digging? Same idea. Marson touched on team. He didn't use the word crutch, but I like that word. The team is a crutch. Use it. Get down that road. GW talked about team. Strength. You know, at our house, we pray a lot. Maybe not as much as we should, but one thing that we do ask for is strength. Care for others, Marson. Thank you. Shoot, if you're busy caring for other people, you won't have time for your worries, and pretty quick they'll be over. Marson talked about self-development, consistency, and then I think, which is a real positive about the company, is they all say, hey, look, everybody grows at their own pace. It's their own journey. That's a good thing, to maybe a feather in your cap. Marson talked about team as well, self-improvement. And Marson also talked about how powerful or how cool the company is and the products are. So that's my short recap. If you look at that, all four of us, we pretty much had the same message, just, you know, from a little different perspective. And run with it, guys. Eat it up. Thank you, Marson. I didn't thank you personally, but thank you for being on tonight, and GW and Jed.
Yeah, you guys did amazing. Super proud. Very cool. Well, thanks you guys for joining us tonight. And I'm echoing it. You guys can hear that. But anyways, you guys, love you guys all, and we'll talk to you guys soon. And thank you again, guys. You did amazing. So thank you.
We need to have these maybe once a month or every other month.